In my recent video of building the perfect 100-bottle wine cellar with a budget of $5,000, I allocated 24 bottles, roughly $750 in total, to what I consider one of the most important categories, whites. Not because they are the most prestigious wines in the cellar, but because those are often the bottles you will open most frequently. The challenge is finding whites that are affordable, versatile, enjoyable today, and interesting enough that you don't grow tired of them after a few bottles. After decades of collecting, making mistakes, and discovering which wines genuinely reward both drinking and aging, these are 6 whites I would happily buy again if I were starting from scratch. In fact, I continue to buy most of those wines today. By the end of this video, you will understand not only which bottles I chose, but why each one earns a place in my cellar. And one final thought before we begin. While you are still discovering your preferences, buy 3 or 6 bottles of a wine rather than a full case of 12. A cellar should evolve alongside your taste. These are the wines you will reach for most often. Fresh, versatile, food-friendly bottles that deliver immediate pleasure while introducing you to different grape varieties, regions, and styles. Here are 6 examples from my cellar. Bourgogne, Aligoté, François, Carillon. If someone told me I could choose one Burgundy white under $30, this would be very close to the top of my list. Domaine François Carillon sits in the heart of Piemonte and was created in 2010 when the vineyards of Louis Carillon were divided between François and his brother. François is the 16th generation of a Burgundian family whose roots stretch back to 1520, and he has quickly established himself as one of the most exciting producers in Piemonte. What I love about his wines is the balance they strike between freshness, texture, and precision. This Aligoté bursts with green citrus and orchard fruit, supported by a subtle tropical note underneath. On the palate, it's crisp, energetic, and wonderfully refreshing. The sort of wine that disappears from the bottle faster than you intend. Latest releases are around $30. Sancerre, Domaine, Denizot. If your image of Sauvignon Blanc begins and ends with New Zealand, this is a bottle worth discovering. Domaine Denizot is run by Thibault and Jennifer Denizot, 6th-generation growers, farming 18 hectares in the heart of Sancerre. Their approach is thoughtful and restrained, using cover crops and careful vineyard management to allow the site to speak clearly through the wine. The result is a Sancerre that combines juicy orchard fruit and lime zest with the flinty mineral character that makes the region so distinctive. Fresh and energetic at first, but with surprising generosity on the finish. Latest releases are around $25. Pfalz, Dr. Bürklin-Wolf, Riesling, Trocken. This is one of the best value dry Rieslings I know. Founded in 1597, Dr. Bürklin-Wolf is one of Germany's oldest and most respected estates. Under Bettina Bürklin von Guratze, the estate became Germany's first biodivin certified biodynamic producer in 2005. Today, it farms 85 hectares, including some of the finest vineyard sites in the Pfalz. Expect green apple, lemon zest, and a touch of peach. Bright, crisp, and wonderfully versatile, with a freshness that makes dry Riesling one of the world's great fruit wines. Latest releases are around $20. Roero, Arneis, Vietti. This is the bottle I recommend to people who want to try something different without taking a risk. Vietti is one of Piemonte's benchmark producers and played a crucial role in rescuing Arneis from near extinction. In 1967, Alfredo Corrado produced the first modern bottling of 100% Roero Arneis, earning him the nickname Father of Arneis. The wine combines orchard fruit, melon, citrus, floral notes, and a subtle mineral character. Medium-bodied, dry and refreshing, with enough personality to remain interesting from the first glass to the last. Latest releases are around $25. Tokaj, Oremus, Mandolás, dry Furmint. Most people know Tokaj for sweet wine. That's exactly why I like showing them this bottle. Remus is owned by the Alvarez family of Vega Sicilia fame and farms 115 hectares across some of Tokaj's most important sites. The Mandolás vineyard takes its name from the almond trees that once surrounded it. This dry Furmint offers stone fruit, citrus, fennel, almond, and floral notes, all supported by vibrant acidity. Distinctive, characterful, and one of the most interesting white wines available at this price. Latest releases are around $25. Elgin, Boschendal Appellation Series, Elgin Chardonnay. If I wanted one Chardonnay in this category, this would be a very strong contender. Founded in 1685, Boschendal is one of South Africa's historic estates. Its Elgin Chardonnay comes from one of the country's coolest wine regions, producing wines defined by freshness and minerality. Grapefruit, golden apple, white truffle, and lime blossom lead into a palette that balances citrus purity, subtle oak, and a distinctive saline mineral character. Impressive in its youth, but with a structure to develop for many years. Latest releases are around $35. And finally, a bonus bottle. Montlouis-sur-Loire, Domaine de la Taille au Loups, Remus. This wasn't included in the original 6, but it's a wine I almost always have in the cellar. Jacques Blot transformed Montlouis-sur-Loire after purchasing Domaine de la Taille au Loups in 1989, helping establish the region as one of the Loire Valley's most exciting sources of Chenin Blanc. The wine combines white fruit, green apple, brioche, herbs, citrus, and a distinctive mineral backbone. Rich enough to satisfy, fresh enough to remain incredibly drinkable, and complex enough to keep you coming back. Classic Chenin Blanc from one of the category's benchmark producers. Latest releases are around $30. These white wines consistently earn a place in my cellar year after year. They are affordable, food-friendly, enjoyable when young, and in many cases, capable of developing beautifully over time. More importantly, they offer a wonderful introduction to different regions, grape varieties, and styles without requiring a large financial commitment. If you are building a wine cellar from scratch, I think any of these bottles would be a very sensible place to start. And if you have a favorite white wine in this price range that deserves more attention, I would love to hear about it in the comment section below. You will find more of my cellar insights and tasting notes on Instagram. Massive thanks for watching today, and I will see you in the next ones.